Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhundash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international educational and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional, IGP is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to student job seekers, job holder, and also for learners the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product. It's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar, courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and world knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continuous improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before I move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support. We already completed 1,577 webinars successfully. Moving to the next with your continuous support. We already completed 1,577 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We changed and designed our website. www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for once with proper information. Note that with proper information, you can enjoy all features. With dispense data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are online quiz competition winner, then you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling Organizational Leadership and Managerial Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research and Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Arts, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tools in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can download and prepare within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000+ international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers. You can join IGP alumni also. You can check out our 50+ premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are sending you late. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credentials. We solved all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you check all buttons and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1578 webinar, which name is Cultural Leadership, Embracing and Accepting Everyone. And in this session, we have two speakers. Our first speaker name is Ma'am Velano. She is from Mexico. And our second speaker name is Mariela Romero. She is from Venezuela. Before I hand over the stage, I want to share a very little bit about them. Our ma'am Velano, she is a life, spiritual, and conscious parenting coach, international keynote speaker. And our another speaker, Ma'am Mariela, she is the CEO of Exclusive Communication United States. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speakers to IGP with their presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speakers to IGP with their presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you? Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Yes, of course. Hold on a second.
Thank you. And while Mariela is pulling up the presentation, I just want to say thank you to everyone that is watching now or later. We are so excited to be here. I cannot believe it's already 1,578 episodes of Opportunities of Growth. This is an incredible platform. I mean, reaching so many people. I'm shocked with the numbers. 35 million people already being served, but I want you all to know that we are served by you as well. And this is the hot topic about this presentation, embracing our cultural differences. We are seeing you in the comments. Some of you have shared with us where you're tuning in from. I see a couple of Philippines, which I'm actually super excited because I'm coming your way in October for the Ladies of All Nation World Congress with the leadership of Dr. Makaka, who's one of the leaders in this organization here where we are today. So please do let us know where you're tuning in from right now in the comments. We definitely love to see you there if possible. And if not, just embracing the energy. Thank you, Marja, for yeah, I'd love to see you in Philippines. They're watching from Canada. Keep them coming as the presentation goes because we, Mariela and I, love to interact with all of you. We will have Q&A at the end of this presentation. And without further ado, oh, we got somebody from Venezuela. There you go. There you go, Mariela, all over, huh?
Yes, all over
So
the world.
I'm telling you, and we're gonna go ahead and start our presentation because we want to give you all. Mariela and I have been co-workers, friends, and are here in a mission to serve the world, to serve you, because we understand and know that through education and respecting each other's differences, being a spark of light in the hearts of everyone around us, despite of color, ethnicity, cultural, nothing separates us. And so we are super blessed and excited to be here with all of you this morning. Mariela,
That is
please.
correct. That is correct. And the presentation is live. And, I always, Val, want to start making sure people understand why it's important to receive this information. What is the benefit of having this discussion? And, for many companies, the most important thing is the bottom line. And today, Val and I, we're going to talk about cultural leadership in the context that this, even though we are teaching something that is for people, for workers, and it really enhances how people communicate and cooperate together, this has a direct effect on the bottom line of every company. It makes the companies more successful. And one of the benefits is because it foments belonging. And this is a conversation that a lot of companies, big companies, are having right now, especially in the United States, in Europe, the developing world, in Asia, etc. So why is important to talk about cultural leadership? Because leaders who are culturally healthy are the ones who can foment belonging in organizations. When you foment belonging, when people feel they belong on an organization, then there is a study that proves that there is a 56% increase in job performance. So the productivity goes up. Then there is a 50% drop in turnover. So people are not leaving, and after the pandemic, many organizations experience that people don't feel motivated. They don't feel like they are, committed with the purpose of the of organization or company. So they leave. When we foment belonging, that risk drops in 50%. And also, one of the other side effects that is phenomenal, people don't call in sick. It's 75% reduction in sick days. So this has a direct effect on the financials of any organization. Employees with high
Mariela, let me add one little thing. I'm so sorry
yes,
about that because
yes,
it's
of
this.
course.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. This sense of belonging, okay, it is so crucial. Whether you are in the end of having your own organization and you're the leader, or whether you are the one coming in the organization, the sense of belonging, yes, it helps that the organization embraces an environment of collaboration and love and expansion and opportunity for growth. However, in some of our organizations, as they are getting their ducks in a row and getting everything straightened, the sense of belonging, we are the ones who present that. No one can let us know you belong here. My loves, I want to reiterate this. It is important that you understand that the sense of belonging is within you. Okay, so open up your heart, because through this presentation, you will see that our differences, all of us are here with accents, we're looking different, we have different points of view, but we are wanted everywhere because of these statistics that Mariela has done incredible research on this topic. So our accent is actually an asset. Ooh, let's tagline that. Our accent is actually, yeah, it just came out beautiful, you know? So actually write it down, Mariela, because it's spot on. We're going to
Exactly. Our
tagline that
accent
one.
is an asset. I love it.
Yeah. Uh, I'm writing it down actually. So please just go again. And so we embrace our cultural differences with so much love.
Exactly. And Val, it's wonderful that we have so many students and leaders here, because what you just said, we belong. We know that we belong. But how can we, as leaders of organizations, as workers, foment that sense and make everybody feel like they belong, even the people that don't feel like they do? Because when we foment that, we can create wonderful things. Another thing that happens when we foment belonging with people of different backgrounds is that people will tell their friends, their other, colleagues, I work in this wonderful place. Come and work for us. And after the pandemic, Val, a lot of organizations struggled with that, finding employees who want to work at their places. And employees were not recommending to work anywhere because everybody was so burnt out and they were not feeling engaged. So when you foment a sense of belonging, when you develop that at the workplace, your workers, your colleagues are going to tell other people, I work in this wonderful organization. Another thing is that a lot of diversity and equity and inclusive um, uh, strategies have not worked because they don't foment belonging. They just want to go ahead and fill quotas of diversity. Okay, we have so many people of diverse backgrounds, and that's it, and not really are looking to for an authentic connection. And this is exactly why Val and I are talking about this, because we want the authentic connection. We don't want people just picking other coworkers or people to be in the organizations for diversity's sake. We want people to be fomenting an environment of inclusion, and that environment of inclusion later brings the diversity that organizations really, really would like to have. Uh,
Absolutely. And before you go to the next one, I just want to include our audience, Mariela.
uh-huh.
This ping pong, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, no,
I would
no.
like to know in the comments if any of you, just say yes or no, have experienced anywhere in your pathway, in the professional or personal level, maybe a difficult situation of being in feeling included or being part of. Have you, because of a cultural difference, have you ever felt that in your pathway, in your life? Just put yes or no. We would like to kind of know that, because this also, Mariela, as you know, not only gives us all those benefits that you're saying, but it allows us to grow as human beings. When we feel like, quote unquote, we are not accepted, it's really an opportunity for us to grow as human beings and be empathetic and loving to that person who is not seeing. It's not that they're not seeing us, they are not seeing themselves. So this whole cultural diversity, it's a 360-degree opportunity for growth. See, we have some people are saying, yeah, they're feeling at some point in their life. I felt it. I know you have felt it, Mariela, but as we grow, we understand the path. First, we might just be, especially if you in the United States, you say, oh, they do a lawsuit, they want to get money. Oh, I'm not being accepted. You run away. But this opportunity for growth and to make a difference and be embracing and growing a company of your own or where you're working to allow you to not just grow yourself but bring people with so many points of views that's what makes a company strong. So the next time, my loves, I just needed to say this. As you know, I go with the spiritual part of the heart. When someone does not see you, it is because they are not seeing themselves. So when you have somebody that is not seeing themselves, how do we react? How could you react the next time somebody does not see you? Compassion, love, and oneness. Go ahead, Maria.
Wow, is so perfect, Val, because what I'm talking about in this slide is precisely that. Sometimes we have reactions when we don't feel that we belong, or when we feel threatened because we think somebody is going to impose their culture and their point of view on us. When we uh, adapt the principles of cultural mastery, the topic we're talking today, then something incredible happens. You don't react the way that Val was saying, you don't feel excluded because you understand, wow, this person doesn't have the skill set to deal with people of different cultures, different backgrounds. So one interesting thing happens when you know how to react. One thing is you protect your own brand, the brand that represents you and your values. And then you also protect the brand of the organization you're working. Many times we see on the news people saying terrible things to other people. Recently this weekend, there was a woman who was at a complex, an apartment complex, and a Mexican family was celebrating 4th of July in a pool. And this woman came and started berating them and saying terrible things. And, when I see events like that, I feel, a lot of compassion for that woman. She felt threatened by a situation of cultural misunderstandings. And then she reacted that way. And what happens now? Everybody is coming after her. She has to defend herself. And, it's a snowball effect that can affect your career, your life. So it's so important to develop cultural skills and a different mindset. Don't you agree, Val?
100%. And I actually saw that in the news and it was heartbreaking. And it happens all the time with all cultures. Now, I want to share with you, Mariela, something and with all the group here. When I was volunteering at the Scottish Rite at the Hospital for Children in Atlanta, look at this difference, which was through education, understanding a culture. I was actually helping all the Spanish speaking families that were coming in with no resources at all. You would think, yes, the hospital has, some translations in here and there, but you and I know, and all of us know here that, sometimes the different cultures are left behind. So I had to get to the bottom of it. It wasn't just about translating and educating the Spanish speaking families that were coming in the hospital. It was going to the court, to the nurse station, and developed a course to train them and share with them how the Latino community, in this case, there were representatives for each culture. Mine was the Latino. And when we did that training, it made sense to them. And the whole dynamics of how the hospital ran, because as you know, there's so many Latinos in Atlanta, it completely shifted. Was it easy? to do that? No, it wasn't. Was it successful and fulfilling? Oh, yes. So, my loves, when you hit a wall, whether you see somebody being, mistreated, or you see a situation, you can be silent, you can just be an observer, or you can feel your compassionate heart vibrating high to be part of a difference. One little act of love can really, really change us, shift us, and unify us for the betterness of you and the well being of others and the unity of cultures and the well being of every company. We're all here to grow. Most of you are students that I know everybody's like wanting their certificates and all that. I mean, reading some of the comments. Leave those certificates aside. I know they're important. Right now, we invite you to embrace the core of this presentation and be here because you want to be here, because you want to be educated, because you want to make the difference. And that way, all these certifications, yes, they're a piece of paper, but they're not going to define who you are or what you're embracing. So come along with us in this journey as we continue this presentation, fully focused, so you can make the best of this time with us.
Correct. And Val, the example that you mentioned shows how you took leadership. You took ownership of a problem that you were witnessing, and then you acted, not just to point out what was wrong, but to provide a solution. And this is actually the mindset that we want to foment. This picture of these two co-workers illustrates the other gap that happens. Is not about culture, because you're coming from one country and you are facing another worker from another country. This is generational differences as well. In the US, a lot of millennials in Generation Z are being managed in companies by baby boomers, people from the generation of baby boomers and Generation X. And it's important to understand the difference, how they view the world, those different generations, how they view the world. And that presents also a cultural shock. And through this type of training, the cultural mastery training, you really can develop a methodology where you can connect authentically with people, not just from different cultural backgrounds, regardless of geography, but also generational. And that is extremely important because right now in the US, 46% of the full-time workforce belongs in that category, Generation Z and millennials. So there is a lot of friction between the different generations. Another opportunity is for companies to really embrace that customer that is multicultural. If you don't understand the multicultural consumer, then you are not taking the opportunity of reaching their hearts, and therefore they becoming your client and providing your services. A lot of the workforce is very diverse, but also the consumers are very diverse. And in a globalized world, it's very, very important that you understand the different nuances in different cultures, because then you don't make cultural mistakes. I remember I was talking with the marketing officer of a big, big company in the United States, a telephone company. And she was telling me a big mistake in a campaign they did to reach Latino consumers. They thought, they had a great idea, and the idea was to promote their cell phone services, but nobody in their team was Latino. So when they created this ad that they thought was phenomenal, they aired it on television, and the backlash was tremendous. People were offended by the ad, and their intention was not to offend, but it came across like that. And what happened there? They did not bother to bring someone of a different background, of the background They were targeting to look at the content of the message they were creating. So that is why the conversation we're having today is so important. This is the program, Cultural Mastery, equipping leaders to thrive and survive in a culturally complex world. How to authentically connect with people from other cultures. This is an area where the heart of Val Alino is present. When I say authenticity, this is exactly what she represents. Every time Val is talking, is having a presentation, you know that she's being her authentic self. Right now, we are in such a sophisticated world where people just read scripts and are not being authentic. And I believe, and I don't know, Val, if you agree with me on this, but I believe, for example, in the political arena, people are not believing politicians because we don't see their authenticity. Everything is crafted by PR people, by public relations experts, and nobody is being themselves because they are so afraid of making mistakes, of not reaching somebody, etc. So the authenticity is being lost. Don't you agree, Valerie?
Absolutely, absolutely. And with authenticity, thank you for your words of kindness. I take them with a receiving loving heart. With authenticity comes congruency. Okay, congruency, what you say, what you do, and what you act is all aligned as one. And this comes with the inner work that you put into yourself. A lot of times I understand, I know, like I've been in India, I've been in Philippines, I've been in Africa. I understand the cultures, and I've been there in periods of times to be of service, and I understand the mentality. And when a lot of times we're acting out of fear, and that shows through. So it's beautiful to see our growth, to be able to reach more audience and to grow and transform in our personal life and our professional life from that place of trust. But it only comes with you putting yourself out there, right? And so this is an invitation to all of you to tap into this congruent part of you. If you are saying something, but you're not really meaning it because you're just avoiding conflict, because you're just doing it to please even your family members, this will backlash you. I promise you. And in terms, I know many of you are here I've actually given courses of how to be a speaker and all of this. We're all trying to be entrepreneurs and build our own companies and be successful. Success does not mean just being abundant in money wise. Okay. Success means in your whole persona. And in this process, my loves, the inner work is a must. We go from even Mariela is an expert in being in the TV, and she can tell you about herself, but it's a process. Sometimes we had the script, we made sure every word was perfect, but then we're feeling right now what all of you, without seeing your beautiful faces, but we are able to tap into your hearts, even from where we are right now. And this is the loving and loving part of a presentation and opportunity for growth. So starting today, my loves, we encourage you to be the most authentic self. And if one of the three wires are not aligned, whether you are thinking or speaking or acting, and one of these three are not aligned, take a pause and seek the help to see how you can wire these three together, because it is there where the abundance of money, growth, relationships, lifestyle, happiness, all of them unite in oneness for you and those around you. You agree, Mariela?
I agree. We have to do it authentically. That is what connects, what it really, really connects and makes us successful in all areas. So Val, because we don't have that much time, I'm going to go through the process of cultural mastery, so I can go as far as we can, and then I'll bring you in to comment on some points that I believe you represent those values that I will be speaking of. Okay, so I'm going to go through different slides right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
quickly. So one of the things important to acquire as this process of changing your mindset to be a leader that has cultural skills is that you learn to have perspective. When you learn that skill, that your point of view, someone else can see it from another point of view, and then you understand, oh my goodness, this person is seeing it this way. That is a tremendously important skill to have. And when you go through this process of cultural mastery, you learn to have perspective. You learn how to see it from a different point of view. Culture. One of the things that is so important, everybody has a culture. Everybody has been born in a place where a culture is already set. And one of the problems that we can see in countries where you have a lot of immigrants from different parts of the world and their, confrontations, etc., is because people try to defend their culture and they think, oh, I don't want someone imposing their culture. This process of being a cultural, an authentic leader with cultural skills is completely the opposite. We want you to embrace your own culture before you embrace someone else's. I remember when I was a little girl from Venezuela, I moved to France. And I remember how my teachers wanted me to be a speaker for the class to talk about Venezuela, etc. Even though I was adapting to another country, to another culture, I never saw the different seasons because in Venezuela it's always summer, and I was looking at snow, different clothing, etc. But what I did, I became like a little ambassador of Venezuela because I had to embrace my own culture before I could embrace the culture of France. So nobody here is asking anybody else to change their culture. We want you to learn more about your culture. And one of the things that we propose with this methodology is that we cannot lead people to the highest levels until we know them at the deepest levels. And that is exactly the process we are going to be talking about during this presentation. These are the current, normally to create a culture, you have to have these elements: beliefs, values, norm, symbols, and language. They could be some other elements, but these are the main ones. And every country has this, regions have this, organizations. The culture of Coca-Cola is different from the culture of Pepsi, even though they're both selling gas beverages, but their culture is different. Like Burger King has a different culture from McDonald's, even though they sell burgers. Many things that what we do now is react. We are putting reaction mode when people clash culturally, and we are not looking at the deep wound that might be causing these problems. What we do is we focus on the symptoms. What is a symptom of cultural dysfunction? Racism is a symptom. Bias is a symptom. Injustice, social injustice is a symptom. But what we do is we focus on the racism, but we don't go deep into the root of what is causing the racism. Is the cultural dysfunction. When we fix the cultural dysfunction, then those symptoms don't appear. And that is exactly many times a problem with medicine. We just treat the medicine, the symptom, we put a band-aid, but the wound keeps getting bad. And the real cause of the illness we are not tending to. So we have a choice to make. We can focus on that symptom and not the root issue, or we can focus on what causes bias, what causes the racism. Human beings are always going to have bias because that's how we evolve. We needed to know, you know, is this group going to be harmful to me or not? So by nature, human beings have biases, but how do we convert a negative bias and turn it into a positive one? There is a method, and here we're going to learn it so we can really take care of the cultural problem and not focus on the symptoms. This is how you do it, through 6 steps: in education, engagement, empathy, excitement, empowerment, to reach endearment. One of the things, Val, that I always tell people is that in our cultural goals, we have focused on promoting tolerance. But tolerance is not a good goal to have. It's a very low bar. Tolerance means, oh, I just have to put up with you. We are proposing to reach endearment, where people feel like, oh my goodness, I love this person, even though she is completely different from me, but we need to reach endearment. Tolerance is no longer a good goal to have. And how do we start? We start with education. Why do I put a pizza here? Because we ask people that process of education to be through 7 points of connection. Instead of asking people directly, where are you from? When people might feel like, okay, you are thinking I don't belong here because you're asking me where am I from. We are asking you to have a skill set where you ask, how many languages do you speak? What is your favorite food? What are your favorite athletes? What is the music that you like? What is the history of your country? And those 7 points of connections are going to make you and that person connect at an incredible level. When I have asked people to tell me their favorite food, I have had a response that gave me a window to their soul just by asking something so simple, and people start telling stories about their childhood, etc. So that is a skill set that you can develop to really connect authentically. The second point is engagement. Engagement is when you work together with someone, a group, someone that you really want to start that authentic connection. And the engagement is the key to authenticity. Why do I choose this image of a worker who is tending to the cactuses in Mexico? Because the creator of Cultural Mastery, Ricardo Gonzalez, he's from Puerto Rico, but he grew up with a father that was very, very negatively biased against people from Mexico. And when Ricardo went to the process of creating Cultural Mastery, he had to find out how are really, really Mexicans and get away from that negative bias that his father had and has passed on to him. So when he went into an area in Atlanta where a lot of the Mexican community lives, and he started to engage with them. And that was the key for him to change that negative view and understand the richness that the Mexican community has. Through engagement is your key to authenticity. Then we go to the stage of empathy. When we talk about empathy, we're not talking about compassion or sympathy. Empathy comes from the Greek word empathos, which means being impassioned for someone else. And this is something that Val is extremely, extremely good at. She is truly impassioned for every human being she gets in contact with. And that's why people connect with her so much. This is an incredible process that we need to understand. It's not having sympathy for someone, feeling sorry for someone, or having compassion. is about being in passion for someone. The next step is excitement. After you go through education, engagement, and empathy, then you get excited. You want to collaborate. This is the key of being an inclusive leader. And this is the stage excitement where a lot of people want to go immediately because they start collaborating here. But we have to go through education, engagement, and empathy to reach excitement. And then you start collaborating. You are really getting excited about it, and you become someone who wants to empower your team. When you become an empowering leader, then you can solve the problem of injustice, social injustice. Only truly empowering leaders are just and equitable leaders. I want to make a pause here to understand the difference between equality and equity, because people think they're the same, and they're not. Equality is giving everybody a shoe, right? But equity is giving everyone a shoe that fits. uh, of course, under the law, for example, everybody has to be treated equally. All of us have to have equal access to healthcare, for example. Everybody has to have access to education. It's a human right, right? But the nuance here is to be equitable, because there are people already who have shoes or who have all the access to the things they need. So when leaders understand being equitable, what it means, then you give the people under your care or under your supervision, etc., you give them what they really, really need. It's not of use if you're a leader who wants to give everybody a bicycle. There's people who already have one or two. There are people who cannot ride a bicycle. So what does equality does there? It doesn't do anything, but equity does, because you're going to give the bicycle to the people who want it and who need it. Then the last step on our journey, endearment. Endearment is the process that we want to reach, that goal that I was talking about at the beginning. And belonging is key here. When we reach endearment, that is the key to feeling like you belong at a company, at an organization, in your family. And we do it authentically through those 7 steps. So with the skill set, you obtain it through education, engagement, and empowerment. And the different mindset to be inclusive is through empathy, excitement, and endearment. So with this, you already have this course, the short version of this course. What do you think, Val?
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I have heard you very passionately over the years about this topic, which we share very dear to our heart. And I truly believe that everyone who is hearing here as well, it's not the same to just gain skills of having a better skill set on this. But if we don't know how to incorporate our skill set with who we are, the culture that we are, our upbringing, and not just be okay with it, but feel proud and be able to share it. Of course, those are with the cultures that you do feel part of. There are countries that have points of views that are not aligned with our values. That's a different story. But we're talking here for the majority of the people that is just perhaps seeing it from another lens. And these points were so spot on. I love this presentation. I love how your heart and your passion speaking through this. We definitely want to feel you out. If this is beneficial to you, please do some thumbs, throw a heart, get the momentum going in the comments as we are heading towards the last part of our time with you today, which is the Q&A. But right now, if you are just feeling something different from when you started to now, we'd love to hear that, see that, or get an activation ourselves, because one of the beautiful parts about this platform that I adore is the diversity that we have. I mean, can you even imagine, Mariela, 130 countries that
Yes.
are together here? It just gives me goosebumps. I've been here for over 3 years, and it doesn't get old to me. Thank you, January, for commenting that this has been beneficial to you. I mean, we're talking so many hearts that are being enlightened, and we want you to at some point come over here and teach through this platform or any other platform. It all comes combining your cultural mastery with the authenticity of your heart, with the embracing your family. It's a combination. It's you got to put everything in the blender, loves, and just go and bring it all out. I wish I could tell you that it's just about cultural mastery. It is not. We know that. But one thing that I want to add to this, the spicy on the taco, the aha, the X factor of it all is just to be authentic to your heart. And this is the connector factor, as Mariela was speaking. We are definitely in so much gratitude. Thank you for the highs, for the yeses, and the comments. We appreciate you. And we're gonna, unless you have something else to add, Mariela, I want to bring our host back so we can get some of these questions going. But I'm
Yes.
in so much gratitude of you and everyone here. And I encourage you to keep showing up in these platforms. And one kind request from us to you, even if you share 1% of this presentation, 1% of this wisdom to one person, even the fire starts growing more of these knowledge and teachings that are so beneficial. So can we
Mhm.
count on you to spread the love and light to as many people as we can? Let us know in the comments, yes or no, while we bring in our
Yes. And I just
host.
say one thing to to
Yeah.
bring it to all together. When you promote cultural diversity, is like making sure that everybody gets to the game. With cultural inclusion, is a requirement that everybody plays in the game. But the difference is with cultural mastery ensures everyone wins in the game together, and that is exactly the spirit that I wanted to bring, that everybody gets to play, to be there in the court, but winning together. And if anybody has any desire to connect with me, wants more information, here they can go to my website and connect with me. I'll be happy to serve. So thank you for this presentation. Thank you for this time, Val, and our host. Please come here and I will end our presentation. I will stop presenting.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. So, Badhan, if you can come back in to lead us in questions and answers. And I know she's going to direct that, but you can start writing your questions. Thank you, Isaiah. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Oh, thank you so much for your comments. We appreciate it deeply.
I am
Absolutely.
reading here. Thank you. Thank you for your comments, for your presence here. I hope this has been an enlightened conversation. And please, if you have any questions, we will love, to engage with you in regards to this topic of how to be a cultural leader. Oh, from Kenya,
Absolutely.
Isaiah.
Oh, I say I was just there in Kenya last year. I loved being there. Absolutely. Actually texting our host, but if you can write in the comments, come out wherever you are. Bye, Dan. But if not, look, we can continue. If you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the comments. And let's take advantage because we only have a couple minutes left.
Mhm.
And every question enriches the conversation. There's no good or bad question. Anything we can answer for you. And if we don't know the answer, we'll get back to you. So let us know if you do have any questions.
One of the things, Val, that I wanted to share, and this is great that you and I are together. When I was a child, I've moved to different countries, and that's why I have this passion about cultural leadership, etc. And when I moved to France, people understand, oh, this is a culture shock, and because different continent, a different language, etc. But then after France, I moved to Mexico, and after Mexico, I moved to Argentina. And people don't appreciate that because I am from Venezuela, Mexico and Argentina were gonna be also hard. And because even though we speak the same language, we are Latinos, but there are cultural differences there too. So it is a beautiful process. It is an amazing skill set to have. And I think that is also one of the things, Val, that has made you so successful at being an international figure, traveling to all those countries, because you have understood that process as well.
Absolutely. I love that you said that. We don't think about that. We think that we speak the same language, it's all the same. It's not. Thank you for adding that. That's such a great asset. Yes, so we have some questions. My love, take over, please.
Yes, ma'am. Our first question is from Carrie. How can you manage students with cultural difference?
How can you
Absolutely.
manage what? I didn't understand. How can I manage what?
Students with cultural differences, and these questions
Oh,
come up also on the screen on the presentation, my love.
oh, I
So
see.
I can start, and if you have something to add,
Mhm.
because my background is education, and I have been teaching around the world, and the X factor, as I said at the beginning, Carol, is your heart. There is no, we all have the same organ, and it operates the same. It's doing all these processes that Mariela says, including inclusion. And when the other students are not accepting the other culture or the child or whatnot, it's an opportunity to share education, and obviously not putting anybody on the spot, but just in a natural way. When you're flowing with just uplifting love and high vibration and compassion and passion, there is nothing that you need to force. The love energy that is perceived in the classrooms. I have had, because I'm a Montessori teacher, all my classrooms have been from all over the world. And I see this, and you want to incorporate the differences and making it an asset. So we would do like cultural events where all the parents could bring different dishes, as Mariela was very wise to share about the food. It brings everything. So we would bring in that, and so people could learn and taste and understand and ask questions. And depending obviously on the age group, there are different things that you can do. But for me, in 37 years of teaching and being in this field of education, I have never seen or allowed, to be honest, somebody left behind. That's my oath to humanity. Never leave anyone behind. Mariela, do you have something to add in this regards?
Yes, very, very important question, because I've been the student with the cultural difference in the classroom. I can tell you that with this process that we just spoke about, one of the most important things, even, I don't know if you're asking the question from the perspective that you are the student with the cultural differences, or you're dealing with a student who has a different culture. Going through the process of education and having that connection through those 7 points, learning about the history, learning about the music, learning about the food, that is extremely, extremely important, because you are going to start having a window to the soul of this person, and you're going to start seeing the different perspective. You are going to learn how to engage with them, etc. If you're interested in engaging with him or her, or if you are the one who is from a different culture, how do you start connecting with the other students? Is through that process of education, educating yourself about that other culture. And it's a process that is beautiful and is going to be enriching to your life.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Do we have any other questions?
No, ma'am. There is no more questions from our participants.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We are very thankful that you have been our host. Thank you to everyone that has been here or will be here. Please do like, comment, and share so we can keep the momentum of this beautiful platform that is reaching so many people and making a great difference. I personally want to thank Dr. Caroline Makaka, who was the person who saw through my heart to be a vessel of love to all of you. And I want to thank you, Mariela, for trusting this morning and sharing us with your love and wisdom. It has been absolutely enriching and of much contribution to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, both of you, for your wonderful presentation. I hope see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank you for
bye.
all
Bye.
your
Take
comments and
care.
everyone. Keep them coming.
Bye.
Namaste, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, click mark as complete. Moving to the next, visit the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test, passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue our quiz from our website. So to join the quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com and find this quiz. And the quiz code is 2069461. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 47 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is, which best defines accepting and embracing all cultural diversity? Option 1, anthropocentrism. Option 2, multiculturalism. Option 2 is the right answer. 83% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kidwana is holding the first position. Our second question is the policy that involved accepting and embracing the cultural tradition of migrant was. Option 1, multiculturalism. Option 2, reconciliation. Option 1 is the right answer and 77% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kidwana is holding the first position. Our third question is, accepting this cultural difference in the first step of to better understanding and embracing diversity. Option 1 false, option 2 true. Option 2 is the right answer and 90% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kidwana is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, integration, acceptation and embracing of all cultural difference. Option 1 identity, option 2 multiculturalism. Option 2 is the right answer. 87% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kidwana is holding the first position. Our fifth question is cultural integration, acceptation, and embracing of all culture difference. Option 1 identity, option 2 multiculturalism. Option 2 is the right answer. 98% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kidwana is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, which leadership trait involves embracing risks and making courageous decisions? Option 1, confidence. Option 2, boldness. Option 2 is the right answer, and 25% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jeffrey is holding the first position. Our seventh question is, accessibility awareness defines embracing different culture, experience, and abilities. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 2 is the right answer. 12% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jeffrey is holding the first position. Our eighth question is, which leadership competency involves treating others fairly and embracing diversity? Option 1, integrity and respect. Option 2, management of others. Option 1 is the right answer. 98% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jeffrey is holding the first position. Our second last question of the evening session is, a cultural movement embracing human empowerment and rejecting traditionalism as outdated. Option 1, ignorated. Option 2, modernism. Option 2 is the right answer. 67% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jeffrey is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the evening session is, promote active community engagement and collaboration, embracing cultural heritage describes. Option 1, learner agency. Option 2, productivity partnerships. Option 2 is the right answer. 92% people are right here. So congratulations to our online quiz competition in our top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in our top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in our top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. At the end of our session, we can say, properly feed your skill, never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not a people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, again must to thank all IGP knowledge seeker for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.